Hey, it's Soup here, and welcome to my Mythic Dausegne boss guide. This guide will only cover the mythic mechanics, but if you'd like a refresher on the heroic version of this fight, then check out this video in the upper right. I will be making more mythic boss guides and mage class guides, so if you'd like to be notified when those are released, make sure to subscribe. Alright, let's get started. Mythic Dausegne doesn't have any new mechanics to deal with. The only major change on Mythic is how hard everything hits, and when you cross over a ring, you will deal very large damage to anyone within 1 yard of you. This just forces you to avoid being stacked when crossing over rings. The dot from crossing rings also hits pretty hard, so if your class can perform well as Night Fae or Venthyr, then it's a good idea to play those during progression because negating ring damage with blinks is very helpful. Specifically during progression, we had people stay in soul shape to blink entire sets of rings. The damage scaling up has adjusted the strat a bit too. First, there's more emphasis on focusing down the domination core ad because pools can become a problem the longer the fight lasts. There are overlaps with rings that force melee to lose uptime on the ad, so it's important that ranged focus the ad as much as possible. Second, the obliteration arc should be baited towards the edge of the platform or away from where the rings will spawn from. The order the rings spawn in varies, so it's important to plan positioning accordingly. The third major strat change was how we handled staggering barrage soaks. For the two barrages before the first teleport, we had our raid split into two groups, the same as heroic, but for each set of 3 barrages after the first shield, we changed it up. For the first barrage, we used either Blessing of Spell Warding or Ancestral Protection Totem. For the second barrage, we had the entire raid soak except for one assigned immunity class. And then the third barrage is forced onto the immunity because that person is the only one without a debuff. Something important to note about this is that Spell Warding prevents the damage taken but doesn't prevent the debuff. So when the whole raid soaks on the second barrage, the person with a debuff gets an external and steps out of the barrage line after the first damage tick. This refreshes the person's stack so that only the assigned immunity gets targeted by the third barrage. The last thing to look out for is opportunities to blink or Door of Shadows over 2 rings at once because this can help reduce damage taken by a lot. So, you want to play Night Fae or Venthyr if it's viable for your class and spec, blink over as many rings as possible, avoid stacking on anyone when moving through rings, bait obliteration arc towards the edge or away from where rings will spawn, follow your staggering barrage soak assignments, and for classes with few blinks, try to blink over 2 rings at once when possible. You can find my kill video in the upper right. Let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful, and remember, never stop improving. Peace!